Hello there. With just 33 days to go until we leave the European Union, the Prime Minister has once again delayed the so-called meaningful vote. With less than 5 weeks left before Brexit Day, Theresa May has once again delayed the chance for MPs to interfere with Brexit by postponing their meaningful vote until as late as Tuesday the 12th of March, the day before the Chancellor's spring statement. "My team will be back in Brussels on Tuesday," she said. "As a result of that, we won't bring a meaningful vote to Parliament this week, but we will ensure that that happens by the 12th of March. But it's still within our grasp to leave the EU by the 29th of March, and that is what we are planning to do." She also said that extending Article 50 would solve nothing. All it would do, she said, was defer the point of decision, and there comes a point when we must make that decision. This is being seen as a riposte to three of her colleagues, Amber Rudd, David Gauke and Greg Clark, saying in a piece for the Daily Mail that the Article 50 process should be extended if the PM's deal is rejected by MPs. There have been calls for these three to either resign or be sacked, as they are publicly briefing against their own government policy. But Theresa May's advisers have told her that this would cause more party ruptures. In fact, she's been told that there are so many ministers prepared to back extending Article 50 that it would not be feasible to sack them all. Then there is the prospect that more of her MPs might join the former Tories of Anna Soubry, Sarah Wollaston and Heidi Allen on the opposition benches. But looking back on her saying the words, "It's still within our grasp to leave the EU on the 29th of March, makes it sound like it's either her deal or not leaving at all, doesn't it? Now, when we do get to the 12th of March for this so-called meaningful vote, there will only be 17 days to go until we leave the EU, and only 10 of those will be normal parliamentary working days, with one of them presumably taken up solidly with the spring statement. We're getting close. But first we need May's nasty Brexit in name only withdrawal agreement well and truly shredded. Now, yesterday afternoon, a certain Mr. Tommy Robinson was in Manchester, outside the BBC HQ in Salford, airing his exposé of alleged BBC Panorama tricks in the form of his own undercover film on the programme's activities. If you haven't heard about this, Tommy is saying that the BBC plan to use fake journalism and bias in order to destroy his life. Now, official reports are saying that about 4,000 of Tommy Robinson's supporters turned up and were faced by a group of 800 from Stand Up to Racism and Unite Against Fascism. But here's the thing for me. None of the reports I've seen talk about the substance of Tommy Robinson's claims. They just quote extensively from counter-protesters, the Journalists' Union and the BBC. Now, I'm absolutely convinced that had Mr. Robinson's claims been false, the mainstream press would have gone to town on him. But they haven't, have they? Just ask yourself, why is that? After all, love him or hate him, if his claims are accurate, then the BBC, which is our state broadcaster that we have to pay for on pain of prosecution, has serious questions to answer, and surely that should be big, big news. Let's now take a breather and look at something more entertaining. A tweet by the political editor of Talk Radio, Ross Kempsell, tells us that in 2011, Conservative MP Chris Skidmore brought forward a member's motion to bring in a bill to provide that any member of Parliament who changes voluntarily his or her political party affiliation described on the ballot paper at the time he or she was elected is deemed to have vacated his or her seat. With the aim, of course, of forcing a by-election when MPs cross the floor. Now, the interesting point here is that a certain Dr. Sarah Wollaston of the Three Amigos or Three Stooges fame was one of the sponsors of the motion. I wonder when she changed her mind. And on a final note, in case you missed it, let's have a quick look at the latest voting intentions poll conducted by Opinium for The Observer that came out a few days ago. This puts the Tories on 40%, Labour on 32%, UKIP third on 7%, then comes a group that is not even registered as a party, the Independent group on 6%, then the Lib Dems on 5%, followed by the SNP and Greens both on 4%, Plaid Cymru on 1%, and all the rest came in at 2%. Now I know that all adds up to 101%, but that's rounding up for you. The interesting thing here is the plug for the Tiggers. Surely they should just be added to the other column until they are a properly registered political party, if they ever do get round to sorting that out, of course. Or is it purely because it is a Remain-based party and the pollsters just wanted to send out a message? Also of note here is that when given a choice between Theresa May or Jeremy Corbyn as the leader of the country, although Mrs May won quite easily, the most favoured choice was none of these. So please let us all know what you think by leaving a comment below, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.